It's good. If I have company, I've got somewhere for them to sleep. There's been a few life changes happening, and one of them is, in a sense, going full circle. When I first came to Australia in 1985, the first vehicle I bought was a 1966 T2 split windscreen VW Combi, and I was travelling around in that, doing seasonal work and that sort of thing. A few years later, 2025, we've now just bought ourselves a 2006 T5 4Motion four-wheel drive VW Combi. So anyway, that's where we go. So why? The Suzuki I really like. The Suzuki's, the Jimmy was the first new car that I've ever bought, and at the way that prices are going, it's probably the last new car that I'll ever buy. But now that I'm doing more travelling around, the Jimny is great for camping, but not quite so handy for moving around, travelling and working, because you're very limited with the amount of gear you can carry. And although, as you will have noticed if you've been watching some of the other videos, I've bought the Trailer Sailor, and that will tow behind the Jimmy, but I can't load the Trailer Sailor up with me the rest of me tools and things, because it'll just be over its GVM. So I needed a larger capacity vehicle, preferably one I can sleep in. The original plan with the Trailer Sailor was to use that as a caravan, and it's no worries for sleeping, but you can't sort of sit up in it, so it doesn't really work as a caravan. Not when you're 58 years old anyway. If I was in my 20s, I'd probably just deal with it, but we're getting a bit softer in our old age. I got on the train from Victoria, went up to Sydney and bought this little jigger. Mechanically, the lady's been servicing it all the time, or getting it serviced, and I've got the records on that, and boy, those Sydney mechanics have been absolutely ripping her off. But anyway, but yeah, she bought it in 2020, looking at the records, so a bit of a COVID project, and then life moves on. She lives in the middle of Sydney where there's not a lot of room for cars and things, so she's got a small car, and she needed to off this, so I managed to scoop it up. It's done up, it's got the drawers in the back, which will be good for loading me tools and camping gear and so on. I think the setup was put in professionally. It's got a boat carpet around the side, all looks pretty good. It's got these dicky lights on it, they're probably going to disappear. I don't need all those pendant lights and things. The mattress that it's got is out of a caravan, so it's a good caravan mattress. The only thing I don't like about it is I don't really need a mattress full width, just for me. And as you can see there, where it's ramped up, it's too long for the bed with the seat in it, with the middle seat of the van. I'll go down and show you that. So I could take out that seat, seeing as I don't normally have passengers anyway, and that'll give me lots of room to put in a little galley or something along those lines. But the plan is at this stage to just leave it as it is. I'm sort of on my way down to Albury. I'll take it into the VW dealership there, and I know they're more expensive to get work done on, but I basically need to have some VW mechanics do a full once over of it, and they'll let me know, you know, if there's anything that major that needs attention, all the rest of it, and then from there on I'll be taking over most of the light maintenance on it, doing oil changes and all of that sort of thing. But I basically just want to do a reset so that I know that if I start to travel around, I'm not going to end up breaking down in the bush too often, and get on with that. But size wise, seems to be pretty good. I've driven it about 300 kilometers so far. and it seems to go all right. It's only got one little sensor issue in it, and that is a oil pressure light that comes on after about 50 minutes of driving. It beeps 3 times, flashes another 2, and then goes off. And then after that, it'll come on again every now and again, usually if the vehicle's labouring. So if you're driving out of town and I change up a bit early, or I don't change down when I'm going up a hill or something like that, it'll beep a little bit and then go off. The oil is full. The oil is black, so I don't know whether I know that some engines with diesels, as soon as you change the oil, it almost instantly goes black again. The diesel engines that I've had usually run clean, so it's either hasn't been getting its oil changed as regularly as what it's supposed to be, or that's just what it does. But anyway, that'll be part of letting the VW dealership give it a bit of a once over, just to make sure that there's nothing silly going on. These have got diesel particulate filters, which, doing a bit of googling online, can be a bit of a hassle, depending on your driving habits and all of that sort of thing. So I'll need to get a check on that and just make sure that the engine's running fine. It feels like to me it's running a little bit rough, but I haven't driven one of these VWs before, so I can't really compare it. I think it's a 5-cylinder as well, so it'll be getting me ears used to the sounds that the van's supposed to be making, and then go from there. So if we have a look around in the cab driver's seat, you can see some of the plastics are a bit dodgy, like the handles over there. I've still got the other bits for it, so I'll either replace those or just fix them up. That shouldn't be too much of a problem. It's got a basic kit, the head display unit for the stereo and that. The screen's quite white on that, and the angle of it, you can't actually see out the reversing camera when the sun's on it. You might have noticed on one of the other shots, but you can see there, just above the steering wheel, I got a stone chip yesterday that annoyed the crap out of me, because I was looking in the receipts of work being done, and I think these windscreens are nearly $500 bloody dollars. So yeah, that's always annoying, isn't it? But apart from that, I mean, it doesn't feel like a new car, because it is, 20 years old now. And the overhead thing over there, that's broken off a bit there as well. So, and whoever fitted this DVD player, that stuff's sort of like ancient history now, who uses DVDs, so that'll be coming out. What I'd like to do first is, once I get the vehicle reset, I'm going to de-electrify, get rid of anything I don't need. Less stuff you got, the less problems you have. That's the way that I like to work. It smells a bit doggy at the moment, because young lady who had it before me had 3 little pups. So I've been spraying that with smelly stuff to try and get rid of that. Comes with a roof rack, so we've got a galvanised roof rack. It makes a hell of a sound when you're up around 80 kilometres or above. So I'm debating on whether I'll keep that or not. I'm not going to be loading anything on there, but the only thing I'd put on there would be solar panels, and they can be Sikaflex to the top of the roof anyway. So this little awning looks like an interesting thing, but I'll wind it out one day and see what it's like, and see whether I'll actually use it or not. I'm putting a tank of fuel in it at the moment so that I can get an accurate mileage of what I'm doing.